Hey, good morning, vinyl community. This is Glenn here, your low-end music freak. This video, I'd like to share with you some of the records I picked up yesterday on my trip to Zap Records in Coburg. Tim, the owner of Zap, is just getting the store ready for a reopening, hopefully later this week. It's a great store, my favorite record store for sure. Tim's a great guy. If anyone is in the area watching this or from the GTA or anything wants to take a nice drive out to the beautiful town of Coburg, Tim has that Instagram page just called Zap Records. Look it up. He's going to announce the opening plans on there. So what I wanted to do is show you some of the vinyl I picked up yesterday, and also had some curious interest in my record cleaning machine that I spoke about on a previous video, the Squeaky Clean Record Machine. So one of the records I bought yesterday's got a bit of crackles in it, used one, so I'm going to clean it this morning, kind of demonstrate the machine for you, just in case anybody's looking for a great, inexpensive means of cleaning their vinyl. So let's start with the records I picked up yesterday. I'm going to start with the one I'm most excited about. This is my first Blue Note Tone Poet album. Dexter Gordon, Clubhouse. I picked this up yesterday at Zap, as I said. It is an amazing record. I now know why people are freaking out about these reissues. I don't know if I've ever heard a record sound so freaking good. It's really nice and such a beautiful pressing. Great covers, nice and glossy. You really get your money's worth. Here's the album itself. The Blue Note label. Just great album. Great jazz album and great reissue. If you haven't picked up a Tone Poet reissue yet, I strongly advise you do so. It's very impressive. It's not going to be my last one, I assure you. The other albums I bought were all used. I am a big fan of these guys. Hall & Oates. I got the Greatest Hits album. My wife loves Hall & Oates too, especially Daryl Hall. I think Daryl Hall's got one of the greatest voices in the history of music. He's just beautiful. But this Hits album is really good. Sounds great too. There's the label. Next, I'm a big Jefferson Airplane fan, but I've never owned this album. Long John Silver. This is in this version of the band. Papa John Creech is in this band. This is a great album. Jorma Kokkonen really plays some great leads on this album. Very impressed with it. This is the cigar box, stash box cover, which is very cool. It kind of looks like a cigar box. The vinyl insert has cigars on one side. Very cool cover, and really nice album. Okay, now I have all the, obviously I grew up with all the original Beatles albums. And I don't have too many of them. I don't have any of the originals. I have some 73 reissues, or 73, 74 on the orange Capitol label. I've got Rubber Soul, great copies of them too. Rubber Soul, Revolver, trying to think if I have any others. I think that's it. So I'm kind of curious about grabbing them because I grew up with them. I found this one yesterday. The Beatles' second album. Now in Canada, I had it as Long Tall Sally, not the Beatles' second album. I always remember this as the U.S. issue, but I think they started issuing this in Canada at some point too. Maybe on the reissues in the 70s they started doing this instead of the Long Tall Sally album. But this was always one of my favorite Beatle albums. Roll Over Beethoven, Thank You Girl, You Really Got a Hold on Me, Devil in Her Heart, Money. You Can't Do That, one of my favorite Beatles songs. Long Tall Sally, great cover. I Call Your Name, Please Mr. Postman, I'll Get You, and She Loves You. Friggin' great album. It's on the Orange capital label, as I said. I think these were issued in 73 or 74. I think depending on whether the capital's in gold or whatever. Next, I picked up the Bob Dylan soundtrack for Pat Garrett and the Billy the Kid. This is one of the only Dylan albums I'm missing on CD, so I'd love to pick up vinyl records that I don't have the CD already, and this was one of them. I always loved this record. I had it when it came out. Great soundtrack, music, well-recorded album too. Okay, so I took advantage of yesterday to fill in my Paul McCartney collection. I know some of these albums aren't well regarded, but they're not too bad. London Town, great album. I'm trying to think if there's any hits off of London Town. With a Little Luck is on here. I guess that's the hit song. An album that I always enjoyed was McCartney's Tug of War. That's got Take It Away on it. Tug of War is a great song as well. Here Today, the beautiful song about John Lennon, one of my favorite McCartney songs. Wanderlust is a great song. If you're a fan of the collaboration he did with Stevie Wonder, Ebony and Ivory, I find it kind of syrupy, but it is what it is. Last but not least, Back to the Egg. This is another album that gets slammed a lot, but I kind of like it. I guess the only hit off of this, if you want to call it a hit, was Arrow Through Me. I'm a big, I'm not saying it's his best album, but I think it's a lot better than people reported to me that it was. So anyway, so this is actually the record that I played yesterday when I got home that has some crackles on it, even though the vinyl looks really nice. So I'm hoping it's going to clean up real good. I'll report back to you on the next video how that worked. So anyway, here's my Squeaky Clean Record Machine. So it's simply a matter of putting the record on there. It comes with like a puck with a hole in it that fits over the spindle, like that, so you can turn the thing. I have it hooked up to a shop vac. Just buy a small shop vac. They're like, I forget how many liters they are, really small. It was like, I think I paid $40 for it. So the shop vac just hooks onto here. So what you get when you buy the machine is you just get this platter, very simple, and there's a little contraption just hooks on the bottom of it, so like that. There's where you put your vacuum. There's the thingamajiggy that actually sucks up all the stuff. So that's that. You get a brush with it, and then I use isopropyl alcohol, 99%. I put 4 parts water, distilled water, that's important, distilled water, and 1 part of the alcohol. I have a mixture made up in here. And then you can go to your local drugstore and ask them for a syringe. So I've got one with the alcohol in it. I got one with the some distilled water in it after to dilute the alcohol. So first thing I do is just use this, squirt some of the alcohol mixture on it, and then displace it along the record. It's really easy. It's a great machine. I can't speak highly of it. I've owned Okinoki machine in the past, and the thing I didn't like about the Okinoki, which I'm sure is the same with all those similar machines, is maintaining it, keeping it clean. Actually, the gentleman I sold it to, when I sold my records, I ran into him a couple of years later, and he told me that he didn't maintain it well enough, and it got all gummed up, and it stopped working. So they are high maintenance, even though they look real simple. This is not high maintenance at all, and the worst thing that can happen is if you screw up your vacuum system, you just go buy another $40 shop vac, but I don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, so that's it. I've got my, I'm going to give it a good cleaning on the thing. The other machine I had, or the other apparatus I had for cleaning records, was a spin clean. I didn't like the spin clean. It works, but I find it way too manual. So if you don't have a spin clean, it's like a plastic molded thing, and it's got a slot in it, and you stand your record up. There's two wheels that the record sits on, so you can spin the record this way. There's a reservoir inside that you put your cleaning chemical mixture in, and as you're spinning it around, it cleans that. And then I think there's another bath that you put your distilled water in to clean the alcohol off, and then it's a matter of drying your record. But I just found it much too manual, and but they do work, and they're around, I think, $80 to $100, and this is only $140. So for the extra $60, this thing works 10 times better. It's going to get a little loud here when I turn on the vacuum, but it's simply a matter of putting the wand down here. Give this a click. Now I go 6 times around because that's the amount of times I've determined that I do it twice. 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I go around once the other way until I can see that the record has picked up most of the alcohol. Turn it off. So if you couldn't hear me over the thing, I figured out that the number of revolutions when I turn with my hand is 6 to get around once. So I do that twice, and then once this way, maybe another extra turn if I can still see a bit of thing. So then it's just a matter of taking the pure distilled water and then we'll disperse that around the record, and this dissolves the alcohol a little bit, so it seems to work the way I'm doing it, so I'll stick with my plan. Just a great machine, as I said. I love it. Fantastic. Okay, so that's that. Put the wand back, flick the machine on, 2 revolutions. One revolution back. A couple extra turns. Off with the machine. Take the wand back, take off the puck, pick up the record, spin it over, and repeat. Then when I'm finished, I'm not going to bore you with cleaning the other side. I simply take the record, and I got this cloth that comes with it, which doesn't scratch or damage the records at all. I'm sure it's the same as these fiber micro cloths. So I simply put this on the record, and I go around and try and clean up the excess. If there's any surface dirt still on there, it usually picks it up. Then I've got this little book holder thing here, but you can find your own way of putting the records around to dry them. I leave it for about 20 minutes just to finish drying it, and then we're done. So thank you so much for watching. Oh, I got a couple of things to talk about. First of all, I reached 100 subscribers. I'm at 101 this morning, so I'm going to have a contest coming up at some point as soon as I can figure out what the rules are going to be. I'm really excited about that, so thank you anyone who's watching and subscribing. I wanted to give a shout out to a couple of people. Mama Bear Vinyl. I was a co-winner of her contest along with Rachel the Music Man. There's not another person on the VC I would rather be partnered with than Rachel. I think she's awesome. So congratulations, Rachel, and congratulations, me. And thank you very much, Mama Bear Vinyl. I wanted to show what I bought, but I ended up ordering it from the US because I'm in Canada and I forgot to tell Mama Bear, and I got a US gift certificate for Amazon, so I just ordered directly from the US. I bought a Johnny Cash Legend CD set. So when it gets here, I'll definitely be showing it. Many thanks, Mama Bear. That was so exciting. So yesterday I get up and I entered another contest with Blues Guy Vinyl. There was 65 names in the hat. He pulled out the winner, I think was Dark Star Vinyl. I hope I got the name right. Congratulations to you. And then he pulls out another name for a second prize, which I think was a calendar from a blues festival or something. And he pulls out my name. So I've won 2 contests in the past week, or at least my name's been pulled in 2 contests. So I'm really excited about receiving the calendar, and it's pretty cool. So I'm loving the VC. Everybody's fantastic. Love all your channels. I'm finding so many new ones to watch, and everybody's just great. It's nice that we all share this passion. So I will be along in the next couple of weeks with a contest, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.